The vast expanse of space stretched out before them, a boundless ocean of stars and nebulae. Captain Zara stood on the bridge of the lead ship in the Amazonian fleet, her piercing gaze scanning the endless void. After centuries of searching, their people were running out of time. The Amazons, as they were known throughout the galaxy, were a race of towering, statuesque women with lifespans exceeding 300 years. But their long lives came with a price: low birth rates and dwindling population. They needed to find compatible species to interbreed with before their numbers dwindled to the point of extinction. "Any signs of suitable candidates, Navigator?" Zara asked, not taking her eyes off the view screen. "Sensors are picking up a small primitive planet in the Milky Way galaxy," the Navigator replied, her fingers flying across the console. "Class M, capable of supporting humanoid life. Shall we investigate further?" Zara nodded. "Initiate first contact protocols. Let's see what this planet has to offer." Thousands of light-years away, on the primitive planet known as Earth, a group of young human males were gathered at a massive convention center in a city called Los Angeles. The annual gaming expo was in full swing, with thousands of attendees crowding the halls to catch a glimpse of the latest virtual reality tech and immerse themselves in the newest blockbuster video game releases. Among the throngs of eager fans was a group of 4 friends: Devin, Ethan, Liam and Aidan, who had driven for hours to attend the event. They were die-hard gamers, the kind who spent more time in front of a screen than out in the real world. But this was their chance to rub elbows with the industry's biggest stars and maybe even score some free swag. "Can you believe we're actually here?" Liam gushed, his eyes wide with excitement as they navigated the crowded convention floor. "I feel like I'm in some kind of sci-fi movie." Ethan chuckled. "Dude, we're just a bunch of nerds at a video game convention. Nothing sci-fi about that." "Still, this is the closest we'll ever get to being actual celebrities," Devin chimed in, adjusting the strap of his backpack. "I bet the cosplayers are getting all the attention." Aidan rolled his eyes. "You guys are hopeless. Come on, let's hit the VR demo station before the line gets any longer." As the 4 friends made their way through the throngs of people, unaware of the celestial events unfolding high above their planet, the Amazonian fleet descended upon Earth, its massive ships blotting out the sun. Zara stood on the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back as she observed the primitive world below. It was a lush, verdant planet, teeming with life and potential mates. "Initiate atmospheric scans," she ordered. "I want a full report on the dominant life forms and their level of technological advancement." The navigator's fingers danced across the console, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Sensors indicate the planet is home to a bipedal humanoid species. Their technology appears to be quite primitive, with no signs of interstellar travel or advanced weaponry." Zara's lips curled into a predatory smile. "Excellent. Dispatch landing parties to the major population centers. Bring me the strongest, most virile specimens we can find. I want them back on the mothership within the hour." The navigator hesitated. "But what of the females of this species? Surely they would make suitable mates as well?" Zara's expression darkened. "The females of this world are of no interest to us. We are here to replenish our numbers, not to play at being conquerors. Focus the search on the males. The larger and more physically imposing, the better." With a nod, the navigator relayed the orders, and within minutes, the Amazonian landing parties were descending upon the unsuspecting populace of Earth. Devin let out a whoop of joy as he emerged from the VR headset, after playing a new game called Space Invader Zombie Hordes. As the Amazonian landing parties descended upon the convention center, the unsuspecting human attendees greeted them with enthusiasm, assuming they were simply part of an elaborate cosplay display. Devin, Ethan, Liam and Aidan were making their way back from the VR demo when they caught sight of the towering, statuesque women striding through the crowd. Their eyes widened in awe, and Liam let out a low whistle. "Whoa, check out those cosplayers," he breathed. "They're like 7 feet tall." Ethan chuckled. "Dude, I think they're going for the Amazonian warrior look. Pretty impressive, I gotta say." Devin nodded in agreement. "Yeah, and did you see the way they're carrying themselves? It's like they own the place." Aidan rolled his eyes. "You guys are such fanboys. Come on, let's go see if we can get a picture with them." The 4 friends pushed their way through the throngs of people, all of whom were eagerly snapping photos and cheering on the imposing Amazonian women as they made their way through the convention center. One of the Amazons, a tall, raven-haired beauty named Kara, paused to survey the crowd. Her piercing gaze swept over the sea of faces until it landed on the group of 4 young men. A slow smile spread across her lips as she strode towards them. "Greetings, Earthlings," she said, her voice rich and commanding. "I am Kara of the Amazonian fleet. We have come to make your acquaintance." Devin felt his heart race as the Amazon towered over him, her piercing gaze boring into his soul. Hi," he stammered. "I'm Devin, and this is Ethan, Liam and Aidan. We are a bunch of college guys. We're big fans of your cosplay." Kara's smile widened, and she reached out to caress Devin's cheek, causing him to shiver. "Cosplay, you say?" she purred. "How intriguing. Tell me, Devin, do you and your friends often dress up as heroes?" Liam stepped forward, puffing out his chest. "You bet we do. We're like the biggest gaming nerds around. If you need any tips on how to pull off an authentic look, we're your guys." Kara's eyes gleamed with amusement. "Is that so? Well then, perhaps you could be of assistance to us. We are searching for worthy individuals to join our ranks." Aidan frowned. "Join your ranks? What do you mean?" Kara's expression darkened. "That is a matter for us to discuss in private. Come with us, and all will be revealed." Before the 4 friends could react, Kara and the other Amazons had surrounded them, their massive forms looming over the humans. Devin felt a surge of panic, but something about the Amazons' commanding presence kept him rooted to the spot. Guys," he said, his voice wavering, "I don't think this is part of the cosplay anymore." But it was too late. With a swift, coordinated motion, the Amazons seized the 4 friends, and with a flash of bright, blinding light that engulfed the entire center, and they were gone, the crowd cheering and applauding, oblivious to the true nature of the spectacle that had unfolded before them. Zara stood on the bridge of the mothership, her arms crossed over her chest as she observed the captive humans being escorted onto the vessel. She had to admit, they were an intriguing lot. Smaller and less muscular than the species they typically targeted, but there was a certain spark in their eyes that piqued her interest. "Report," she said, turning to the navigator. "The landing parties have secured a total of 27 males from the convention center," the navigator replied, her fingers dancing across the console. "They appear to be young, physically fit, and possess a high level of intelligence and technical aptitude." Zara nodded, her brow furrowing in thought. "Interesting. Have they been secured in the holding cells?" "Yes, Captain. They are being scanned and evaluated as we speak." "Good." Zara turned her gaze back to the view screen, watching as the last of human male were transported off Earth. As the 4 friends were ushered onto the massive Amazonian mothership, their initial awe and excitement quickly gave way to confusion and trepidation. "Whoa, this is some next-level cosplay," Liam breathed, his eyes wide as he took in the sleek, futuristic interior of the vessel. "The graphics on this VR setup are off the charts." Ethan nodded in agreement, his gaze darting around nervously. "Yeah, And the haptic feedback is crazy realistic. I'm almost convinced this isn't just some high-tech convention display. Devin chuckled nervously. Come on, guys. You really think NASA or DARPA or whoever has this kind of tech? This has got to be Elon Musk's doing. Maybe he's recruiting for some secret space program or something. Besides, I did try to warn you guys that this is not part of the cosplay show. Aiden, ever the skeptic, shook his head in agreement with Devin. I don't know, man. This feels a little too real to be some kind of stunt. I mean, did you see the way those women were carrying us? That's not normal cosplay behavior. Before any of them could ponder the situation further, one of the Amazons, the raven-haired Kara, approached them, her imposing presence commanding their attention. Greetings, Earthlings, she said, her voice rich and authoritative. I am Kara, of the Amazonian fleet. You are now aboard our mothership, far from the primitive confines of your planet. The four friends exchanged bewildered glances, their jaws hanging open. Wait, Devin stammered. Are you telling us this is real? Like actual aliens and a real spaceship? Kara's lips curled into an excited smile. Indeed, Devin, this is no mere simulation or virtual reality. You are truly in the presence of the Amazonian race, and we have brought you here for a very specific purpose. She gestured to the restraints that now bound their wrists, and the friends' eyes widened in alarm. What the hell is this? Ethan cried, tugging against the unyielding bonds. If this is some kind of prank, it's not funny. Kara's expression darkened. This is no prank, Earthling. These restraints are very real, and they are the least of your concerns. With a snap of her fingers, a small, hovering device materialized, its metallic surface gleaming. Kara grasped it, and the friends watched in stunned silence as she effortlessly crushed it in her hand, the shattered fragments falling to the floor. Could a mere VR headset do that? She asked, her gaze piercing. Liam swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing. No, of course not. That's impossible. Kara's smile widened. Then you must accept the reality of your situation. You are no longer on your primitive world, but aboard the Amazonian mothership, where you will serve a very important purpose. The four friends exchanged terrified glances, the truth of their predicament slowly sinking in. This was no mere convention display or high-tech prank. They were truly in the clutches of an alien race, and their lives would never be the same. As the reality of their situation sank in, the four friends found themselves torn between disbelief and sheer terror. They were no longer on Earth, but aboard an alien mothership, captives of a towering race of Amazonian women who had plucked them from their mundane lives on a whim. Devin, the ever-pragmatic one of the group, was the first to speak up. Okay, let's just assume for a second that this is all real. What exactly do you Amazonians want with us? Kara's lips curled into smile. It is quite simple, Devin. We have brought you here to serve as breeding stock for our people. The four friends went rigid, their eyes widening in horror. But breeding stock? Ethan stammered, his voice cracking. You mean you want us to, mate with you? Kara nodded, her gaze unwavering. Precisely. The Amazonian race is facing a dire population crisis, and we require compatible genetic material to ensure our continued survival. Liam shook his head vehemently. No way, man. There's no way I'm gonna do that with some giant alien chick. This is messed up. Aiden, always the voice of reason, placed a hand on Liam's shoulder, silencing him. Look, I know this is all kinds of crazy, but we're not exactly in a position to refuse, are we? He turned to Kara, his expression grim. So what happens now? Are you just gonna force us? Kara's expression softened, a hint of understanding flickering in her eyes. We have no desire to force you, Aiden. That would defeat the purpose. We seek willing participants, individuals who will embrace their role and help ensure the future of our species." Devin let out a humorless chuckle. "And how exactly are you going to convince us to embrace our role? Because right now I'm not seeing a whole lot of incentive." Kara's gaze hardened. Perhaps a demonstration of our capabilities would be in order. She snapped her fingers, and a pair of Amazons stepped forward, each holding a strange metallic device. Before the friends could react, the Amazons pressed the devices against their temples, and a surge of electricity coursed through their bodies. The four men cried out in pain, their muscles spasming uncontrollably. As quickly as it had started, the sensation faded, leaving them panting and disoriented. "What the hell was that?" Ethan gasped, his heart racing. "A simple neural disruptor," Kara explained, her tone matter-of-fact. "It allows us to incapacitate you with the mere touch of a button. Imagine what we could do if we truly wished to subjugate you." The friends exchanged fearful glances, the gravity of their situation dawning on them. Okay, we get it," Devin said, his voice trembling. "You've made your point, so what do you want from us? Exactly. I guess we have no choice in the matter now. Only if I could have finished my game of League of Legends. Had such a good start." Kara's expression softened, and she placed a surprisingly gentle hand on Devin's shoulder. "Is that all you can think about right now? Is a silly computer game? There is much more to discover with us. Now we simply ask that you embrace your new role and assist us in our endeavors. In return, we will provide for your needs and ensure your comfort." Liam scoffed. "Comfort? You kidnapped us from our homes and are basically holding us hostage." "That may be true," Kara conceded. "But consider this. On your primitive world, you were merely a group of outcasts, relegated to the fringes of society. Here, aboard the Amazonian mothership, you will be revered, your contributions celebrated. You will have the opportunity to shape the future of an entire species." The four friends exchanged uncertain glances, the weight of Kara's words sinking in. As much as they hated to admit it, the Amazons had a point. On Earth, they were just a bunch of nerdy misfits, their talents and intelligence largely unappreciated. But here, aboard this incredible alien vessel, they could be so much more.